The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch channel. I am your storyteller today, Ravinia, also known as Nikki, also known by my wolf pack here as That Bitch. And today we are celebrating a multitude of things. First off, the Kickstarter for the Apocalyptic Record, which, if anyone who's known my work, I certainly enjoy the apocalypse, probably a little more than I should. So it's been titillating seeing all the emails and seeing all the previews. It's just perfect. Another thing we're doing is the Bodhana group, which is about tabletop RPGs in therapeutic settings, which I myself, that was basically my first therapy. So it's very important for me. And I will continue and let our players, or victims, as I like to call them on occasion, introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Beth. I am Dropstitch Witch on the socials and in the chat, and playing Sandy tonight, and she is our Philodox.
Hi, everybody. My name is Will. I am Ravnos Harkon in chat and on Twitch. I will be playing Miguel Enriquez de la Cruz, the Hamid Galliard Uktena member of the pack.
Hello, I'm Maddox. I will be playing the lovely Lupus Ragabash, Shadows in Fur.
And my name's Brad, Timber Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Ammon, the Hamid Silent Strider Theurge.
And unfortunately, this is only a two-shot game, so we are not going to get the beginning, but we are going to get that delicious, delicious middle part of a game. Our pack here has dealt with a particular struggle, aka their Karen has now fallen to the Black Spiral Dancers. Nobody has made it out. They are escaping barely by tooth and claw. Moon bridges have been cracked, so escape through the Umbra is impossible. Their Arun, Logan, a Geta Fenris, actually sacrificed himself to make sure the rest of the pack left safely. They in fact saw Logan in his Krynos form ripped through by a particular black spiral with honey-colored eyes and black fur. He shouted, "Get out! Run!" As the world seems to have turned upside down for our lovely pack. And more are coming. The snow has fallen. Blood still wet. The scent of destruction, worm taint, and the sound of cries, the smell of fire being leading behind them. Sandy, you are the pack's Philodox. You know Logan looked directly at you when he said those words.
I'm going to just start grabbing the rest of my pack if they're not moving fast enough and shoving them ahead of me.
Why don't you describe Sandy for us?
Sandy is a fairly tall woman, dark blonde hair, cut in a fairly short but simple style, just pulled back into a short, tight ponytail. Well, fairly fit, but probably the most noticeable thing is that she's got a big scar on the left side of her face, and it looks like that eye is no longer there. But it is still fairly red. Like it's not too old.
And what is the rest of our pack doing?
Amon would be going over. How long would you say it's been since Logan fell?
45 minutes.
He's thinking of him and kind of going over like a mental preparation for the gathering for the departed. If anyone deserved a final right, it was him. But now's not the time. He's going to listen to Sandy and just he's moving anywhere.
Describe
But
yourself, by the way, while you.
So Amon is a late 20s. He's got a vaguely Greek look to him. Definitely has comes from Greek ancestry. He's got, like shoulder length, wavy black hair, like a thin beard, both black, maybe gray, like a little gray, like a faded black almost, and a gold tint to his eyes. Average height, very fit, in mostly black or dark colors. And I mean, his clothing is practically torn from the battle. And he's definitely thinking about everyone who he won't get to give rights for, but would definitely keep them in mind as he's also thinking about specifically performing them for his fallen pack member.
Shadows in Fur is a fairly average size for a wolf, but his fur is more of a light sort of blonde cream color mixed in with a copious amount of random black stripes and things that don't quite go all the way down his fur, and it's just a mishmash, making him very ashy in color of his fur. He currently is just running as fast as he can because he knows that sad later, survival first.
Miguel is probably coming up the rear, making sure that nobody's straggling behind. If we've been running, he's probably in his lupus form, which has mostly just a black mask, more brown than black on his body, a little bit of red around the ears, and just these rings of white that kind of come around the neck, almost like not a full halo, but just almost like an omega sign, and just another ring right behind the shoulder blades coming down. But if we're at a safe point where we can stop and rest, I'll definitely be the first to shift out and come into my Hamid form, which is given my dedicated clothing because I'm not new at this, and I'm actually a Hamid born. I have black jeans, kind of Skechers boots, a ripped up leather jacket from too many scraps and scrapes, an old Queen, it's a kind of magic t-shirt, bit of a long black hair that looks a little bit too greasy, that comes just past his shoulders, and just these very dark eyes and this perpetual 5 o'clock shadow on his face.
You do make it a fair ways away from where the cairn is originally. You know it's not safe to exactly stop. You know that you are probably being followed. Those that walk the spiral don't like to take chances, and there are a lot more of them than there are you.
We're running away from the cairn. Are there any cars nearby? Or were you running towards where maybe we may have parked our vehicles? Are we running elsewhere?
Why don't you roll me a d10?
Choose? 2.
Unfortunately, the black spirals came in from where the vehicles are. So you will have to go on foot. As you are probably new to me, I randomly take a little bit from the COD playset where luck dice are used. So a success on a luck die is a 10. Anything else is a failure.
I'll definitely probably shout back, like, where can we go? What's in this direction? Does anybody know? Would I know of any safe places or any good places to hide and regroup?
Sandy, you think, and you remember the mall you used to take your son Seth to go play. They had a lovely little playground that was animal themed that he was just absolutely enamored with. You also know that mall has shut down several years ago due to a nearby town becoming a much bigger and more interesting spot. You're sure nobody's going to be there. Grisham Mall.
I just start going in that direction and be like, follow me. And I just keep an eye on everybody to make sure that we're all still together.
Yeah, Mon will follow.
Now, The truth of the matter is, are you trying to be quiet?
Probably yes. Like we're still trying to hustle, but trying not to garner too much attention since I'm assuming we don't have any active followers that we can see.
All right, since you're leading this group, why don't you give me a dexterity plus stealth check?
Boy.
And Miguel, you were at the end, weren't you? I will
Ma'am,
like a dexterity and stealth check as well from you.
you got it.
Difficulty is going to be a 7.
I have 3 successes.
Wow, that's amazing on 4 dice.
You know, I miss Isa's stats because they were much more suited for this. But I also got 3 successes. 2 of them were 10s. That's impressive.
Yeah, I had 2 10s and a 9.
As good as it gets from me, boys.
That's excellent. It's going to all go downhill from here, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start off strong.
Yeah. So you're moving. You seem to be in touch with yourselves. These woods, you know. The snow, you know. You've been through winters here before. Shadows. I would like a perception check from you. So this is going to be fun. So
Perception alertness.
Yes, perception alertness.
And compared to my last character, I actually have dice for this.
I know. Amon, you can share in this. The difficulty is for you, Amon, it's going to be an 8.
Yep.
For Shadows and Fur, it's going to be a 7. And there are reasons for this.
Ooh, ouch. A lot of 1s. That hurt. 2 successes.
Okay.
And you said it was difficulty 8 for me?
Yes.
1 success.
All right.
2 successes on 8 dice. 6 dice.
1 success on 4.
Amon, you smell something. It's kind of weird, but there's too much going on. You need to go. You need to hurry. It might be burning wreckage. Shadows and Fur. You know that smell. That dark, oil slick, disgustingly tainted smell that's a mixture of hot garbage and burning flesh. But there's something else to it. Something underneath. Flowers?
As we're running, Amon is going to bring that to bring it up. Just like, does anyone else smell that?
Worm, death, flowers.
One hell of a combination.
Get to, as I'm running, glancing up at our alpha. Ma'al?
Yes, mall. Place of shopping. But it should be empty.
I don't say it out loud, but I definitely wonder in my head what shopping is.
And keep moving forward. The stealth is good. There's a moment where you slide down an embankment and you all look up and you can see across the ridge. Yes, I'm giving you this for free. There are 8 black figures off the ridge, scrambling down. Their bodies seem to be contorting in strange ways as they bend down, smell footprints, and continue to move. You also see that they are more spread out. They are casting a wide net to catch.
I will shout back towards our alpha. Say when get to mall can help.
Let you know when we get there.
Sandy, the mall isn't that far away from here. It's just a matter of trying to be quiet. It's get there fast, but make a lot of noise, draw a lot of attention, or try and get there slowly.
I actually want to use a gift. I have Call to Duty, which one of the options is if I spend 2 Gnosis points, I can summon all Gaian spirits within 1 mile.
Let's take a look.
Y'all, we're not even like 10 minutes into this, and then I'm already hyped.
Yeah, I thought I had some dumb things, and I really want to know what this dumb thing is.
2 Gnosis points.
Yeah, well, that's the other problem.
Gotta spend 2 Gnosis and it'll summon all the Gaian spirits within 1 mile.
I know the above it is when you know the name of the spirit, you can give them like a single word command. 1 command may be given. I'm assuming that's the same when you're summoning all of them.
Yeah, the spirits might refuse the call though.
Bunch of dicks.
If I've abused it in the past, spirits can refuse the call.
Yeah. All
Of
right.
an appeal to duty.
Yeah, so you have to spend 2 Gnosis and then you roll Charisma plus Leadership.
And in my charisma, I have the specialty commanding voice. Would that apply for a howl to call them all in?
I'm going to warn you, howling makes a lot of noise. I just thought I'd let you know. But this is what you want. So go ahead. You can roll, and those lovely D10 specializations will give you rerolls. Willpower is going to be an 8.
It's leadership
And charisma.
Charisma.
And you spend 2 Gnosis.
Yep.
That would be half my Gnosis.
Everyone, please back the Kickstarter.
Might go horribly wrong. My goal is to have them just to distract the enemies and lead them off.
I think everyone's excited.
I got 4.
Okay.
I had 110 that I got to re-roll.
Okay.
I got a total of 4 successes. And there was willpower, there was 8, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And based on your successes is also how loud you were.
Oh, God.
Let's hope they're deaf or just stupid.
So you all see Sandy concentrate for a second and then let out this howl suddenly. And Sandy, you hear 1,000 tiny voices that are like, okay, 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 okay. And you kind of see this flicker. There's this kind of wind spirit that you see. And you also realize that it's winter. A lot of the natural spirits are sleeping during this time. and proceeds to run off. You don't necessarily know if it worked or not.
I have faith in spirits doing their duty. I'll tell everyone to haul ass to the mall.
Amon is just running.
No need for words. Random Hamid chatter.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up next to Sandy and just be like, hey, do you think that maybe a little bit more discretion is better moving forward, or?
Yeah, probably. I was maybe not the best decision in retrospect, but hopefully the spirits will distract them.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get a raccoon, like last time, but yeah, okay.
You're never going to let that one go. Let's go.
As you're running, I need perception alertness checks from all of you. Difficulty 6. I saw that look from Ravenous Archon going, oh, jeepers, here we go.
Difficulty 6, you said?
Yeah.
2 successes.
2 successes.
I cannot recall. In lupus form, is it that my difficulty on perception stuff is reduced, or do I have like another dice on it or something?
The first part.
It is, so that's also on the beginning. Lupus, yeah, its difficulty is down by 2.
Yeah, difficulty is down by 2.
So I had 2 8s, but I also had 2 1s, so I have 0 successes.
Oh, well, at least you didn't botch.
No.
Yeah, imagine what would happen if someone botched.
Did you?
You have no successes and you rolled 1s?
I have no successes on 6 dice and 1 1.
So real quick though, like what happens with a botch with a perception? Like you stumble and like poke your eye?
Well, you're about to find out.
It means I definitely don't notice, for one thing.
So in the process of you hauling ass, as Sandy said, Amon, and I forgot, Sandy, what was your roll
I
again?
had 2 successes.
All right. You both look back and you do see there's a group of 4 still following.
Does it look like they're catching up?
They seem to be catching up. In the process of that, you hear snap, crap. And Shadows and Fur is now, one of his paws is stuck in a bear trap.
Oh, shit.
And in the process of the alert, he, of course, lets out a yelp in pain. Shadows and Fur, you are going to take... we're early in on this. You're going to take an 2 aggravated damage.
Okay.
I mean, immediately I'm going to move to where the bear trap is, but specifically angle myself so I can see the 4 that were behind us coming. Say 4 of us or 4 of them are coming, and then just as I'm down trying to open the bear trap.
All right.
Can I run up and help Amon get the bear trap open?
You can most certainly try. We'll see who does it first.
I'm going to keep my leg as still as I can.
Shadows and Fur, it does give you a little bit to where you can look back and you do hear this kind of weird creaky that comes from the one at the front.
Are we doing anything other than strength?
Hold on. It's going to be... I doubt... I doubt none of you have crafts, so it's going to be... Let's go with strength plus athletics, which is probably better. And bear traps aren't too hard, especially if you're working together. So difficulty 6, standard diff. Shadows and Fur, you look at this hulking beast that is trying to come up on this group. It's massive. You see those almond eyes again. Almond, honey colored. There's a little bit of a flicker of recognition.
No time to focus on that. Just making sure to bolt as soon as I feel the bear trap no longer around my leg.
You only got 1 success, Sandy. Right?
2.
2? And Amon got 4. All right. Sandy, normally you're like, just some elbow grease, let's get this off. But Amon, who was already there, all of a sudden, whoop, and it's no problem for Amon,
damn.
which sounds damn near wrong.
As soon as he's free, I'm just gonna, like, as I'm kind of like keeping a look at where the 4 are, I'm instinctively kind of giving Shadows like that little push to get him to start moving in the direction. And when I do that, I want to use Mother's Touch.
While this is happening, I'm going to spend the rage point to shift down into Hispo.
Okay.
And locking eyes with the one in the lead, I'm going to use one of my gifts. And I'm going to just bark and yip and try to grab his attention and start to run in a different direction than these guys are going in.
Okay.
But I'm going to use distractions, which is a level 2 Galliard gift. What's your performance? What is his willpower, if I may ask?
The willpower of the one that's in the lead is an 8.
What is Shadow's rage right now?
'Tis 3.
I got 4 successes on Mother's Touch. Each success heals, so you'll heal all of the aggravated you took.
Cool. Means I'm not limping.
I got 3 successes on my roll, plus I want to use a willpower point to give me a 4th.
Oof.
So for the next 3 turns, he suffers 4 dice penalty to all his pools.
Oh. And you do distract. There is almost this look, this frustration that you can almost tell that this anger isn't meant for you as it comes chasing after you on a dedicated warpath.
Are we close to the mall by now? Or are we still got a bit of a jog?
You are now into the parking lot.
Excellent.
Grisham Mall.
Then that's when I'm going to activate Prey Mind. It is going to be difficult because this is a Weaver area, but I had to wait because it doesn't help for just straight up running. So.
Mm.
And I also have to make a Wits Primal Urge roll at difficulty 9 because Weaver area.
Let's see how you do.
And I have a specialty in Wits for ambushes. Does this count?
I can see why that would count. I'll let you do it.
Cool. 3 successes.
That is a complete success.
Whew. Good for me.
I'm just pulling.
And I'll start listening to where all the prey thoughts are leading me on where to be safe and hide and all that. Start leading people towards the easiest way into the mall and stuff.
There is a fairly easy way into the mall. The doors are obviously locked up. There actually is some debris that has fallen, possibly from one of the signs. But there is a way to squeeze through and get into the mall.
Is being a wolf going to be too cumbersome for that?
A wolf
Getting it
is
in?
probably going to be better.
Okay. Then I will stay in Lupus and start, nose jutting that way, growling at all of you that way.
Amon's running in the direction that he indicated, and then just kind of like looking over his shoulder just to see where the other two are.
Sandy's following after,
Mhm.
but just keeping an eye, making sure that everybody gets in before she tries to get in.
And now we're going to pause with you all as we need to go back and deal with some unfinished business with Miguel.
Here we go.
Miguel, you have ran off the path, basically. You see where they're heading. You can tell which way. You don't know exactly how you're going to get in, but you can see the goal. So you do see that you have successfully split the group. There are still some that are following your friends, but you have caught the attention of this particular one, the leader, if you could.
All right, well, that helps somewhat. How many turns do I have left on my gift?
Let me see. Their distraction.
It's on page 169 of the 20th anniversary book.
Thank you. I'm only a page away. Ain't that nice?
There are new gifts in the Kickstarter book, yes?
There, from what I hear, there are new gifts in the Kickstarter book.
Excellent.
Yes. All right.
The whole Kickstarter, I'm still just trying to think of how I can work a stricken from the record joke in here. And it's not working. Because there's nothing to say yet.
Yeah.
Give it time.
I would say in the process of the chase and everything, you still have your full 3 turns. This has been basically a run.
Okay. Has his penalty helped me kind of get a good lead, or is he still keeping pace?
You do have a good lead. There is a bit of that. You see this individual slide in the snow a bit. There is a balance issue that normally wouldn't be affecting. But
I'm going to try to push my luck here and taunt him a little bit by kind of doing a little spin move as I shift down to Lupus.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to book for wherever I saw them enter the mall.
Yeah.
Thank God there are no ones in this roll.
How bad?
No, I got 2 successes out of 7 dice.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Not terrible.
All right. You succeed in your spin and you start hauling ass towards the mall. The Black Spiral does try to leap, and where you spun, its hands go, but you're not there anymore. These strange, curved, insanely long claws. And you see that drag as he slides just a little bit. And I think that would give you enough of a lead to just barely make it into the mall.
Right. I'm just going to howl out, "Not today, Poppy."
And this is basically where you see Miguel booking from the other side. You can definitely, Shadows and Fur, you definitely hear the prey animals freaking out at scary wolf, might be hungry. Try avoid. And then you also hear terror, just sheer terror from the prey.
For once, we're on a similar page. Yeah, no, just focusing on getting to the entrance and then being ready on the other side if something squeezes through.
All right. Shadows and fur, it's fairly easy for you to crawl up and through this debris that's kind of blocking the door.
I say here as I go, so that way they know, and because most of them aren't used to this crap.
Mm-hmm. Sandy, Amon, you see where he goes. You also see 3 black spirals coming at you. I believe it's fair enough to notice that you can also see Miguel in the distance.
Those 3 spiral dancers are between us and Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
I will spend a rage to drop into Kranos because I want to make sure everybody gets in first.
The Amon will follow suit. But I'm gonna roll to shift.
Yep. All right. It's a difficulty 6.
Difficulty sticks. We're not in the underworld.
You might be.
Oh, we could be. Very soon.
That's a problem for future us.
And I know it's Primal Urge and
Stamina.
I always fucking forget this, sorry.
It wouldn't be a game if one of us didn't forget.
I told you before we started, it's intelligence and rituals, bro.
I wish it was. I'd be good.
Oh, you actually have stats in that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good for you.
Not that it's going to do us any good. 2 successes.
All right. It takes you a minute. You see Sandy's just whop. She's there. Sandy, what's your Krynos form look like?
Is it still pretty, she's Krynos, so she's big, she's bulky, but it's more of like a sandy gray color of fur, and just, big, terrifying, with claws. Same kind of brown eyes, the sandy color kind of seems similar to her hair, but not exact.
And the scar is probably more prominent on your face.
Oh, yeah. And I'm also going to use my Fangs of Judgment. That's good for the entire day.
Okay. Fangs of Judgment. That's one of those abilities that you just kind of activate, right?
I think it's just a willpower point.
All right.
Is that the one that gives you 2 extra dice for anybody that strayed from Gaia's path?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes, that is.
How you feel the docs are showing.
Yep. 2 extra damage to all beings who have fallen from their original purpose to the service of the worm.
Yeah, she's just growling there because she's going to make sure her pack gets in here.
All right. Well, you already have initiative rolls. I did that earlier before we joined. That's how angry the pack made me earlier. You're muted.
You pull the Ben?
Different community. Come on.
So we got Sandy at initiative 8. Amon, you are out for this turn, but you will come in on the next turn.
I figured.
Yeah. And these interesting creatures are definitely going to be coming at Sandy in full force.
Yeah, I
Everyone be-
figure. I was just saying, I figure because Amon actually has as a specialty for wits, cool-headed, so he's probably really slow to anger even in this situation. So that's probably why it's harder for him to shift straight into Krynos, because Krynos being the war form, it's kind of a last ditch effort sort of thing for him.
So basically how this is going, 2 of them are going to get hits on you before you can act, Sandy.
Okay.
So they are working in tandem. It's almost like they're a pack of some sort, and they have pack tactics. As you see, one strafes to the side and another strafes to the other side, and they are coming in sort of a pincer maneuver.
No, I'm not used to the storyteller chastising us for not using our brains. This is new to me.
I just always forget that pack tactics are a mechanical thing in this game.
And
Boy.
it's kind of interesting for you, Sandy, as you look. The one in the middle is basically waiting. They are crouched. Their claws ready. It seems to be waiting for the other ones to strike.
Boy.
But yes, we're going with lovely claw attacks from 2.
Okay.
Then you will get to what is your action, Sandy?
Oh, you need my
We are doing things as well as we can be. My wolf pack has been trained in the ways of trying to run combat swiftly on Twitch. I'm trying to be honorable to the game's intent.
I would be going after one of them, like with like a claw, trying to, as I'm clawing them, like pull them in front of me. I don't trust the one that's just waiting to come. So I would just want to have that as like a barrier or like a block between me and them.
Okay, so you're going to go for a grapple. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, because I try to not want them to get around me, so I'm trying to get him in between.
Yeah. And the last one is going for a springboard maneuver. So he is springing up and going to try and go in for the kill, like you would see a wolf pack almost do on occasion. Distract the prey, go in for the kill. And now dice are actually going to start being rolled. So I had already rolled this. All right, that's 5 successes on the claw. And now and that is 5 health levels of damage from 1 claw attack.
Can I soak?
What you can do, there's a couple of things you can do. You can definitely try and soak the damage that is going to become. You can sacrifice your action to try and dodge, but that will sacrifice your action. So what would you like to do?
I will try to soak.
All right. You remember the rolls on soaking damage?
Nerves have made me stupid. Stamina, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight stamina.
Yep.
Okay. And is it standard difficulty?
It's difficulty 6.
Okay. So I have 1, 2, 4 successes.
All right. So that means you take 1 damage. That was just from the first claw. Next claw coming in. You feel as it scratches against your rib cage, there's this burn. This throbbing pulse. There, and you can even smell it in here. There's a sickness among this group. That's 4 more health levels.
Haven't even gone to break yet.
We're getting there.
Someone's getting broken. Don't worry.
Oh boy. I'm gonna soak it again. Almost. Because I don't want to let
your Crino stamina, because remember you get a boost. Okay.
Yeah.
So making sure.
I did remember that at least. I'm only slightly nervous and forgetting things.
It's okay. I get the stress. The stress of dying on stream.
For 1 shot? Nah.
5 successes on that one.
All right. So that's good. You don't take any damage from that. Now you get to do your lovely grapple against these individuals, or a individual. Do you have a particular preference?
The one who did damage to me.
Okay.
The
That
one who
makes
managed to get
sense.
through. I'm going to Dex and Brawl. So difficulty 6. That's 1, 2, 3 successes.
All right. It's good for me. Go ahead and roll your bashing strength damage there.
That's just straight strength. It's 7 dice. Standard difficulty, it's only 2 successes.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. It's only bashing damage, so you're able to grab and pull. Dude, these people smell awful. It's not fun.
Tell you need to bathe.
It's kind of funny when you say that. He just licks your face.
Oh, what the fuck?
At this point, Amon, you fully shift.
I'm gonna go and tackle straight for the one who, or like try and make a run for whoever's closest.
All right, so you shift. So the way this will work now, and I believe Miguel, you are getting close enough to where you might be able to actually engage with this.
I have questions, so get ready for that.
Okay. All right. So the way this works is you've got the black spiral that Sandy has pinned. That one was the top of the initiative order for the moment until the one following Miguel shows up. But yeah, so Amon, specifically, what are you going to do to the one that isn't grabbed.
I am going to, let me real quick look at my fancy page 2 brawling chart. I think I want to try to claw it.
Okay. You can totally do that. In the process of you doing that, the one that seemed to be waiting
Mhm.
Definitely tries to do the pounce maneuver. And doesn't seem to care that he's going to have to claw up his friend's back. So you see this individual leap, and he basically gets onto the shoulders of his friend and comes swinging down right at Sandy.
Sometimes.
No. So. It's gonna hit. Or health levels.
I'm gonna go for soaking it again. Because I can't get out of the way and I'm not gonna let it get closer to the entrance.
Come on, go ahead and roll your claw.
I already did. I got 3 successes.
Okay.
3 successes on
Roll-
to soak.
Roll your
Sorry.
damage. That means you soak 3 levels from that hit.
Okay. It was a 4 to hit, right? Okay.
I know I said it in a weird way.
So I want to make sure I understand, because plays rarely, if ever, goes into Krenos. The bonus damage on claws, is that 2 dice or just add 2 to the strength?
Strength, I believe.
Well, it's strength plus 2. So your strength in Krenos plus 2. So that's on your sheet.
It's 9.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling 9 dice. I'm just making
Yes.
sure.
9
Okay.
dice for damage. Miguel, you come in on this scene. What is your actions? What would you like to do?
My question.
Yes.
Excuse me. Since my fetish is dedicated,
Mm-hmm.
that means it shifts with me. If
Mm-hmm.
I were to rush up, since I am in lupus form,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say pull it out of my shoulder into my mouth, could I use it, or would I have to go into Hamid to use it effectively?
You could use it. It would be awkward. We're starting to get into this weird. There's a game that I'm remembering that has a wolf with a sword that people screaming for me to get good at it, and it's giving me all these vibes. I would say you're probably going to be 1 dice short because it's awkward.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come in, pull the blade out, which is this wicked obsidian kind of ritualistic knife, because I kind of want to use it, activate it, and see if I get lucky and get some of these abilities that it has going, so I can use other things. So I'll do that, and that would be a Dex, Lupus, and melee, which is okay, more than I thought it was going to be. It's one dice. You said. Oh, Gnosis roll to activate first, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Doo-doo-doo. 3 successes. Hot damn.
Nice. We're getting all the good out early. This
Wow.
2-shot.
Just because I activate doesn't mean I hit. No, it means a hit. It means a hit. Everything is 7 or higher except for 1 dice. So 2, 4, 6 successes.
Oh, that's definitely going to hit. Amon, what was your damage? How many? 5? All right. So you go and you definitely claw this thing. And yeah, it hurts. There's this shriek in pain. But it doesn't hit quite with the same level that you were expecting. You see the wounds kind of stitch. Though the smell of the blood is acrid, to say the
Fucking
least.
tainted.
Which one are you specifically going to hit, Miguel? You're muted.
Oh my god, it pulled a Ben. I'm gonna go for the one that specifically has its back to me. I need to make them pay attention or
Okay.
learn a lesson for not paying attention.
All right. That would be, there are 2 basically. Both are in front of Sandy. One's standing on the other's back.
Oh, then bottom of the totem pole.
Okay.
Let's bring that tree toppling down.
Yeah.
Honk honk, motherfucker.
Stop making me laugh. This is serious.
What's really great is Shadows and Furs in the mall. Just waiting.
Don't remind me. I'm starting to think I'm going to have to run back out there.
Yeah.
It's taking them a while. I thought they were right behind me, and now they're not.
Yeah. So
in
yeah,
the Weaver's house.
You stab right into there. You strike true. There's definitely this auditory from the one that licked Sandy's face.
Oh, excellent. Revenge for that.
Much like the
Bullshit.
Umbra, that is wrong on so many levels.
Just like full face, the bad breath. Well,
Mm-hmm. You strike well and good. You get it right there between the ribs. You know that sweet spot that you hit.
I let Huitzilopochtli like guide the blade entirely.
Yep.
How much damage would I be doing?
All right. Well, since this is a fetish weapon, let's take a lot.
Speaking of fetishes, as established in chat, my safe word is daiquiris.
My safe word is apples.
Okay, I can see that.
Oklahoma. No way to accidentally say that.
maybe if you're into show songs,
Oh, yeah.
start breaking out into a show tune.
No show tunes here. I will murder you all. It's not that I don't like show tunes.
It's just she doesn't like show tunes.
Yeah. So nothing from Rent then.
Yes, no, and it's already playing in my head. God damn it. I'm not going to say a strength +2, but I could definitely see maybe a strength +1. It's a fetish. It's a fetish weapon. It's spicy.
Yeah. 2 successes.
All right. All right. But yeah, you guide it there. You pull it back. That wound is definitely there. The individual is leaking a bit, but the wound closes just ever so slightly. But there is definitely this back pedal as they go tumbling down.
Do they bring me, if they're falling down, do I go down with them?
Are you still holding them?
If I feel them dropping, I will try to let them go.
Okay. And
I'll never
they
let
do,
go, Jack.
they do tumble back. And with that, you also hear the other one coming from behind. And someone wasn't paying attention to their own back.
You told me I had a nice lead.
You
This
did?
This is not a nice lead.
Well, nice for who?
You had a nice lead, and then you got into the range of the combat, which slows your pace. All right, that's 5 successes there.
You know, it's not fair to kill him twice in a row first.
Not trying to.
You're not
boy.
trying not to.
5 health levels.
I will be soaking that as best as possible.
No. For those that don't know, this wolf pack has already been through a season of a chronicle with me where Ravenos Archon, also Miguel here, was the first person to die. The rules I have in place for my chronicles is if you die, you're out for the season, and then you can re-roll in the next season.
That's how they're getting Maui Howie. I soaked 3.
Okay. You definitely felt that. There was some rearrangement of some kidney with that strike. But then you also hear some chittering between the group, and they seem to back off.
A little sus. Can we get like any parting blows as they
You
back
can
off?
go for it. Go for
I
it.
would try to just get like a parting claw attack as one tries to get away from me.
Go for it.
Yeah, I would try to swing too if they're trying to turn tail.
Miguel, you kind of heard a bit of a let's regroup. Because remember, there were 8 that were chasing you originally.
Okay.
I have 5 successes on my claw attack.
All right. Roll for damage.
And strength 2, 7, and then my extra 2 for my claws. My fangs of judgment.
As they're swiping, I'm gonna open my mouth and just let the blade kind of fall out. And as it does, it just turns to ash as it kind of reconstitutes itself into my body. And I'll just shake my head, my lupus head, and just be like, no, regroup.
The damage is just 1 success.
Okay.
9 dice. I just won.
Luck's already turning. Come on. What's your roll?
Uh,
Seven successes.
Okay. And what's your damage?
Or sorry, I'm wrong. I did that backwards. Give me 1 second.
It's okay.
Um.
I am a benevolent storyteller.
I'm gonna pay for this. I know.
I was muted, but I still laughed.
I think that
Okay, so I got 3 on the attack.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll. Roll your damage.
No ones. That's good. 5 again.
Okay. Solid owie owie there. That one seems to stick around a little bit better as they pull back. And no regroup from Miguel.
I am gonna. I hate because I already have 2 points of damage. But seeing that they're taking a swipe at them, I'm also going to regrettably use a Gnosis point to activate Spirit of the Bird and shoot myself into them like a bowling ball. And I want to shift into Krenos as I do.
Ooh.
Take the chat's advice to heart.
Trying to remember
Whoa,
exactly.
whoa, whoa! I can't look at chat while I'm doing this. What are they shouting?
Ride it like
Ridey's
it's
kicked-
stolen.
Stolen.
Yeah, that's why.
Drive it like it's hot.
Yep. Whew. All right, 1 gnosis, and you can fly at 20 miles per hour.
Yep.
And
Drop
hover.
it like it's 2021.
Oh, thank
The-
God.
Difficulties of all combat maneuvers increase by 1.
Yeah. Well, I'm flying.
All right.
But I got 4 successes to shift into Krenos form as I vault forward like a bowling ball.
And I assume you're after the 2 that tumped over that are trying to back up.
Yeah, just there's no escape.
Let's see if there's any hope for dodge here. You definitely smack one of them. The other might skirt. It might just be, but yeah, you go and full on shoulder check this black spiral dancer in your Krenos form, which looks like what?
You're muted again.
Muted.
Trying to be polite. It is a much more menacing form than my lupus form. So it's mostly, there's all black on the top. There is that crescent kind of shape, that omega shape of the white that's more prominent now. The ears are full on red. There's much more red that kind of bleeds down into the dark walnut brown of the body, and then just a white tip of his tail.
Sandy, I would like you to make a perception check. Perception plus alertness, please. Difficulty 5. And remember, you are muted right now.
Thank you.
See, I try and help. I solve problems.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
All right. You see this go on, and damn, that's impressive. But you also notice at the back of the parking lot, there isn't just 4 more black spirals. There is another 8 coming in.
Fuck, we have no time, guys. In now. More incoming. And can I I'm gonna shift to Lupus to go through the
Same. And then I was going to say, I don't think I ever described what Amon looks like when he is in Krenos. He's got that same color to his fur that his hair is, the sort of like faded black. But the gold in his eyes is much more pronounced. Clearly, you can see the bit of pure breed in his blood. Definitely can tell that he's got that Greek, or maybe even Egyptian wolf in him. And so he'll shift down to Lupus and then make his way in.
All right.
And what's the difficulty to shift down? It's on the character sheets.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 this time.
No problem. That's a full success, so you do it instantaneously.
Yeah, and he'll run in right after Sandy.
And then I had 2 successes for my shift.
It takes you a moment, but you will be successful.
Well, I was going to say Amon then is probably going to get in there before her then because she's taking a second.
100%. That is definitely what's going to happen. Miguel, you can get the sense that your pack is sequestering. But you have totally bowled over these black spirals.
Oh, waste not, want not. I am going to chomp down on this one's neck and drag him back towards the mall, like a warning and like a fucking trophy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for the bite.
Yes, ma'am. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, it's not that good.
Used to those Philodox dice.
I did get used to that. Okay. Yeah, my dexterity will not count for this. Takes that away, so it's only 4 successes.
Okay, that's still going to hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And it is +1 die, according to the brawling chart that's on our character sheet. 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Ooh. See about the soak. Does not do good on the soak there. This one's hurt bad. As you start dragging him back towards the entrance. But you also see the 8 others starting to come at the parking lot.
Just bite down harder. Try to hurry myself up.
All right. For the sake of brevity, I will say you rip this one's throat out. The blood acrid in your teeth and jaws, dripping down your face. It almost seems like you've tasted this before. It doesn't bother you as much. There's almost a welcomeness to it. You're muted again.
I got 1 success on my reflexive healing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I will spit it out as I shift down into Lupus again and crawl into the mole.
Yep. All right. in the process of this, Shadows Infer, I assume you've been waiting for them.
You're muted now.
Yes, glancing between the entrance and then also looking around to make sure there's not shit sneaking up on me in here.
Mhm. Eventually, they come through. Some looking more bloody than others. Thankfully, mostly not of their own. Through the glass, in one particular spot, you see that large black spiral. They kind of hunker down and they look at you through the glass as everybody comes through. And in a voice you recognize, "We're not through yet, brother," as they turn to leave.
I don't say anything, just watch.
And this is where we're going to take our break. We will be back in a few minutes. And we're back.
Just like that.
Where we left off, our lovely wolf pack here has safely made it into the mall. They have seen not just 4 or 8, but 12 black spirals so far. There was a little wordplay or one-sided wordplay towards a particular pack member. And now we're in the confines of Grisham Mall.
I'm still staring where I last saw them. And I'll just growl Ichthia and then turn around and go to my pack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm immediately trying to find something. So in that sort of like little bit of downtime, Amon would have shifted back to Hamid and try to find something to cover that hole. Like try and secure it as best as possible.
And he also shifted back and is just wordlessly helping him on.
I'm gonna wait until I heal, and then I'll shift back down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go over to Shadows. Hey man, what was that? That whole thing that you were just going through.
He'll turn and look back towards it and look at you. Same litter.
Oh shit, that's rough, man.
Hamid word sister.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough. I'm gonna scratch his ears.
I'll resist it first, but just lean into it because it feels nice, and tonight's been shitty.
Yeah. Okay, man. I understand.
I think it's pretty easy for Amon and Sandy to close the hole up.
While they're doing that, can I just do a quick glance around, see where would be a good place to like retreat to or anything like that? Or alternative exits even?
You don't see alternative exits right now, but you do see that this mall is a 3-story mall. There seems to be this little fountain that is slightly up the stairs from this entrance point. The fountain has been turned off, so no standing water. There is a skylight that lets in a little bit of natural light during the day, or at least you would assume.
Guessing it's covered by snow right now.
Mm-hmm.
I will look around and then look at all of them. Odd-shaped weaver box.
Yeah, something like that. We should try to find a place that's defensible. I don't think they're going to give up.
Spirals play with food.
I am going to take a quick look out the window to see if I can't spot the moon. I'm assuming, is it nighttime? We're getting late.
It is nighttime, but from the angle, it would be awkward to see the moon. I know what you're trying to do.
I don't remember this game.
I'm gonna pull out a harmonica from my pocket and just start to play something somber. Start to walk around and see if anything looks defensible.
Everybody stay in sight.
Amon will go
no.
in. Go
I don't know
ahead.
if there's I don't know if there's any other entrances that they can get in at. So stay alert and try to stay inside of each other.
And then
Fine.
Amon will kind of go in a different direction from where everyone else is, doing the same thing, just kind of trying to see. And at the same time, he's sort of like muttering to himself as he's walking around, kind of trying to do part of a rite for the fallen. Or I may be messing the name of that up. Was it the rite for the recently departed? Gathering for the departed.
Gathering of the party, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just kind of going over that as best as he can, and sort of at the same time. Go ahead.
No, are you mumbling this out loud?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but at the same time, like not trying to be loud given the circumstance, but also putting volume into it as sort of like actually like speaking it to Gaia. And he's listing off like everyone he can think of from the cairn, just trying to go through the list, just because so many have died. And it's kind of half trying to see if he can find something, trying to be useful, but at the same time kind of doing what he's built to do.
Assuming Sandy hears this.
I would assume Sandy hears the utterances and mumbles of Amon wishing the absolute best for the Karen that you were all sworn to protect. That
I'm
flickers.
assuming, being Hirano prone, I should probably make myself a willpower roll at this point now that the immediate stress is over.
We'll get there. Give me one moment. The first floor of the mall, it seems to be a Y shape. That's kind of how you feel about this. There are bigger department stores, or what would have been bigger department stores down at the ends. There's a lot of little shops, little boutiques. Miguel, you do see what would be known as a guitar center on the third floor at the far end.
Look for it.
We should say we are not sponsored by Guitar Center.
It's true.
Stay in sight.
It looks like a guitar center. It's not a real guitar center. It's Ukulele Hut.
You cut.
Yes, you cut.
Wait, isn't that the salon and barber? You cut?
Sandy, as you're walking around trying to keep them, you recognize that fountain. And you recognize right across the way is the playground that Seth used to love when he was a kid. He would whine and cry and beg to come here because at the Cairn there isn't a lot of playground area. There's a lot of woods and you can run around and, do pretend stuff in the woods, but this playground has slides and usually there's other children to play with too here. And
Yeah,
Seth
Sandy
was gregarious as a child.
Sandy just kind of goes still and she's just staring at that for now.
Mhm.
You want me to do my willpower roll now?
Yeah. There's that.
Wait, it gets better.
Oh God.
So, well, and just because I think this would make sense, like she's kind of walking around and Amon isn't necessarily kind of aware of where he's walking or what's around him. Because again, he probably doesn't come to the mall that often. And I can just imagine that as he's getting like over by where this little playground area is, as he's reciting the names, it's sort of like that terribly perfect moment of him like reciting the names, and he gets to Seth right as he's right next to the playground, and that's when their eyes meet, and then that's when it's just like the fuck.
There's this picture-esque moment in Sandy's face here because there's the smiling child. It's like, let's go play, mommy. And then there's the whip crack of the frenzying monster that clawed out your eye. In that, it's that flickery moment. It's almost that exact moment of why you hesitated in protecting yourself and why you lost it.
Is it standard difficulty for this? Even with him or Amon apropos mentioning Seth's name?
So difficulty, it's with how this scene is played out, I'm going to say it's a difficulty 7.
Yeah. I have no successes.
Any ones?
Yeah. They canceled out. So it wasn't a botch.
I thought you said you botched a Hirano.
I was terrified there for a while. That's one of the reasons why I was like, oh God, I hope the difficulty isn't too bad. But I rolled an 8 and a 1, and then the rest was really low.
Okay. So, Sandy, you are upset. And at this point, Amon just decides to say your son's name. He wasn't there to give the rights for your son when it mattered. He wasn't there to actually help you deal with that. He was out helping others, non-pack members, deal with their grief and sorrow, which that is what Amon does. But you needed him. And that just reminds you of all that time.
I think Sandy is just going to storm past him, shoving him out of the way, and just kind of going just into just focused on that playground and those good memories, and just is kind of like stuck and lost in it.
I almost picture Sandy sitting down exactly where she always sat.
Little benches.
Dust. Yeah, the smell of dust erupting from those seats as they haven't been sat on in a long time.
And just that kind of sound, just that little kind of almost like keening sadness sound, like it's like just trying not to burst into tears. but on that edge.
Amon, you see Sandy, and she does shoulder check you, and you see this intense grief come over her.
Amon would, like, he knows, I mean, everyone's been very, very sort of obvious about their feelings about him having been gone, some more than others. Amon's always been very sort of, I guess, sort of, he's comfortable to a point with what he does, knowing that, you know, he sees it as a higher calling of sorts, to give those rights to the departed, to whoever needs them, not necessarily just the pack. But also this being the first kind of group that's really sort of welcomed him for any extended period of time. It wouldn't be his intent to have done that on purpose necessarily. But at the same time, he's not dumb enough to think that now is the time. And he doesn't do one of those like stubborn sort of like shoulder check back sort of things. It just, he accepts it. Because as much as he wants to justify to himself that he was doing what Gaia called him to, first and foremost, he should have been there for his pack. And so that does sort of eat at him. But at the same time, he's a cool-headed person. So it's almost as soon as he feels the guilt, he reminds himself that this is part of Gaia's plan for him. And he goes, like, he makes sort of like a mental note to try to not mention Seth's name around her anymore. Not so much as a disrespect, but just because he doesn't want to deal any more grief to her. But he'll move off in a different direction, staying in sight, but also kind of keeping her in sight, understanding that, you know, because he's been around death so much, he's been around, you know, different cultures and different grieving practices, even within Garo society, that he's giving her that space and that time to grieve. And if something presents itself for him to sort of address later, but now is not the time. So he'll keep doing what he's been doing, but go away, but also keep her close, knowing that she's now preoccupied with what's going on.
We haven't checked in on Miguel for a little bit as he makes it up to the uke hut that is on the 3rd floor. And what makes it distinctive is he can see where the letters were. You know, so he sees, and normally these would be gated up, but this mall is abandoned. The gates have been broken by other people.
There's a bit of reverence as he kind of squeezes past whatever gate there might have been left over, pushing into the door and then expecting that little bing bong and not getting it kind of makes him sad for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I immediately rush over to see if there's any guitars left. Even if they need to be strung and they're just like the husks, like I need a guitar.
Mm-hmm. And you do walk over and you do see the stands. And they're cleared out for the most part. But why don't you make a perception plus alertness check? Difficulty 6.
Roll for Fender.
I'll take a Gibson at this point. I don't give a fuck. You said difficulty 6?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a 3, not an 8. So I shouldn't have been excited about that one. 3 successes.
All right. You don't see any on the racks, but as you kind of look through, you see one on the ground. And it's in the sheet music section.
Acoustic or electric?
It's acoustic.
Poor thing.
It's in the sheet music section.
Pick it up like a abused child.
Mm-hmm. And as you touch it, you think back to your school days. You think back to those moments with family. You think back to before the first change. What nice times those were. And then you remember what happened at the first change. With your sister and her ex-boyfriend. That altercation. And you realize, strangely enough, you're in the Latino music section.
Just gonna look up at the roof. Shake my head. You have a funny way of making yourself known.
And it wouldn't be proper storyteller fashion if you didn't do a perception check and just roll to get a guitar. There's other noises that you hear. There is skittering. There is almost like right behind your ear is a little giggle.
So not like a rat or a raccoon.
Right. A giggle and murmurs and
Without looking, I'm just gonna reach out, grab some of the random music that's there,
mm-hmm.
and slowly back away towards the door, under my breath, just saying, hey, I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm just gonna take the guitar. I thank Gaia that a guitar was left here for me, maybe, or somebody that needs it, and I am just an instrument moving forward with it. And just kind of pluck out a couple of notes from something familiar as I make my way out in hopes that this is not something aggressive.
It's badly tuned. So that hurts your ears as you it hasn't been tuned in a long time. And it's odd as you step out. There's this brief flicker of light, of the electric lights. And it's not just that room. It's the whole mall.
Like the lights are coming on.
Yeah, there's this weird flicker and then it stops.
Amon at that point would just shut up and then just like look up around the lights and it, sort of like instinctually sort of like moving back towards the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of veering specifically towards Sandy in case she's completely oblivious to this.
Shadows and fur. Your sense of smell is a bit stronger than the rest of the group as they walk on two legs and not appreciate the finer details and things. Can you get me a perception and alertness roll? Difficulty 5.
I was muted. 5 successes.
Ooh. You smell the old. You smell the decayed. You also smell people have been in here. Not just you. Not just your pack. Recently. There's also that familiar smell.
Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this time I growl. Not safe. New hiding spot.
Am I close enough to hear it? Or are any of us close enough to hear it?
I made sure you all heard that.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm moving back to where I hear him calling from, I'm looking to see what Sandy's doing.
I'm basically in Hirano for the rest of the scene. I lose a dice.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's trying to get herself together. I don't. Where else can we go?
Further
Should-
into mall. Not here. Scent of others.
Now, like,
Not
I
long
know you
ago.
can use a willpower point to push a Hirano away. Can you do that after you've already rolled badly? Or at this point, I'm just kind of stuck
You
with it.
can, but know that that's one less willpower you have.
Yeah, valid point. And I already spent one earlier.
I'm going to walk up to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I will shift into Krynos and pick her up. And then start walking.
Amon will follow after. Just kind of like keeping a lookout.
And come down the stairs trying to tune the guitar as best as possible. Hey, did you guys see the thing with the lights? Because that was
Oh, it's not just the lights.
Weaver nonsense. Keep walking.
Okay, but like
Relocating.
You're in Krynos form, and that doesn't bode well normally.
Can't carry in breed.
I can walk. I can keep up.
Can walk. Can keep up. Don't want. Not needed. No strength. Shh. And just one of my my left paw and claw will just very awkwardly pat the back of your head, but the sentiment's there.
What does Shadows and Fur Krino's form look like?
His lupus form, but bigger. Exactly. It is still the same
Okay.
cream and light blondish looking fur with the random, like, scattered black stripes and swirls.
All right. As you head further into the mall, you do see the smaller shops. You do see a ramshackle clothing store and also a old bookstore, which could be quite iconic by the green carpet.
I will now set her down.
Just kind of like rubbing the back of my head like that was.
I'll stand
Okay.
there. You see me debate for a little bit, looking from left to right before shifting back down to Lupus. And then getting a sense of, is there anything here immediately, or can we finally sit down for half a second?
It seems quiet.
Safe for now. No full relax.
I'm gonna come
Kind of
over.
come for us. I wonder if we can move bookcases or something to create more of a barrier along this entrance.
Yeah, we should do that. And I'm gonna pat Shadow's head.
I'll
You're
do
reaching.
one. No, I shifted down.
Yeah, he
Oh,
shifts down.
okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
once he shifts down, then I'll be like,
Yeah.
Good attempt. Good attempt. Man.
Before we go, I'm gonna walk over to our alpha and just sort of like tilt my head like almost vertical and just sort of like rest it against her arm and look up. And then I'll
Thank you.
turn and go with Miguel, and
I give him a little scritch before he goes.
then I'll go and help Miguel.
Naman will just kind of like silently help Miguel and Shadows.
It's fairly easy. These are just standard bookcases. You can move. You can very easily feel protected here.
Does that whole barricading stuff take an especially long time, or is it fairly quick for us?
It's fairly quick.
Then I'm going to look up at Amon.
He'll look down.
Check Umbra. And I'll start sidestepping.
All right.
And Naman will join him.
Do you remember how to sidestep?
Is a Gnosis roll, if I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I didn't know there were gonna be quizzes.
And is it so? Because I didn't do this much, if at all.
In our original chronicle.
And is it your permanent gnosis or what you currently have gnosis?
Permanent gnosis.
Okay.
And for this area, the difficulty is going to be a 6.
Lower than I thought it would be.
3.
Three successes.
This is old hat for you. You shift. It's, the Umbra. And in here, both of you, that's the smell of old is here. As you look through this place, it looks even more decrepit. It's even more ancient. And you can see lots of glowing eyes looking at you from everywhere.
So I have. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, is there a specific color to these glowing eyes?
They seem, there's yellow, there's green,
Ugh.
there's black.
It is also fair to point out that there is now this weird ethereal tar dripping from my fur.
Mm-hmm.
Only dripping where the black stripes are.
He seems to be leaking sludge.
And it disappears as soon as it hits the floor.
I do have spirit heritage.
Mm-hmm.
2.
You get a vibe about you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is that spirit heritage? What vibe do you proceed, Amon?
Fire elementals. He's sort of personally attuned towards fire ones.
So you seem probably brighter
Mhm.
on this side.
Which is sort of fitting given that his name is it's spelled in the Greek tradition of the Egyptian god Amun-Ra, the sun god.
Some of those eyes wince at that brightness.
How are they reacting to me?
Curious. Fascination.
Do I recognize the dripping coming off of him, being familiar with the spirits?
There's very few spirits that could look like that.
It's rare enough. Let's test your mind.
I mean, my mind, or because I might have an idea, but like I would be guessing.
Let's go with intelligence plus occult.
Oh, sweet.
You've been wanting to roll that all night.
I mean, it's not the best roll, but it's definitely a good one for me.
Are you shifting forms?
Difficulty 7. And no, he's not shifting forms. We're going to get back to you in a second, Miguel.
2 successes.
All right. That is rare and iconic almost. Things that leak like this aren't necessarily good, but they're necessary.
I'll just look over at him as he's examining me and just say, shadows. Fur.
There's something on him, and it's not the good kind of something on him.
And then he'll kind of just, I guess, sort of tuck that away and pay more attention to the spirits that are around us. And
as you stand there, they slowly start to come out. You're in their place. They were watching. And it seems various insects, spiders, centipedes.
I shift to Hamid. We'll spend a rage if needed.
Oddly enough, there seems to be a bird, a raven, as well, as they all come crawling out. Some of them come crawling towards you with strangely exuberance.
Is there one that seems to be leading them or focusing them in some way?
Not really. There's excitement. There's one spider that crawls directly towards Amon. In about the size of a dog.
Corrupted or normal looking for a spider?
Kind of, it looks kind of janky and orb weavery. You know how they have the long spindly legs?
Is there any point at all where it seems like it's maybe a little bit rusty?
Yeah.
Ugh. I shake my head at it like, no. But I'm doing it for all of them, so.
No.
And so Amon has spirit speech.
Mm-hmm. And you can hear the spirits. They're like, there's people. Oh my goodness, there's people. There's all these different voices of, we've been bored for so long. It's been so long since people are here.
So I'll look at the big spider that's approaching me.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, spider.
Hello.
Do you have a name?
Some call me
Tim?
DVR.
DVR?
On an out of character side, that's adorable.
It kind of lowers itself down.
I will lower myself, sort of like kneeling down to his level, and put like he'll like touch his hand. My name is Aman.
Welcome. Aman.
If that is too difficult, call me whatever is easiest for you.
Fine. This place, it's old.
I've been here before, though not in this location.
What need?
Safety. Willing to negotiate if needed.
Turn lights on?
I look at shadows as sort of like his opinion on whether or not I think the lights would be.
I tilt my head because I don't understand what spirits say.
Oh,
Unless you were
light.
translating.
He would translate. By this point, anyone who doesn't understand them, he would be translating for them as a sort of matter of course.
Basement.
Light.
Down below.
There's a basement. Any other spirits down there?
Don't. No.
Do you not go to the basement?
No.
Why not?
It's dark.
Can you turn the lights on downstairs?
You turn lights on.
You want me to turn the
Downstairs.
lights on? Would that make it better for you to go down there?
Keep you safe.
Can I do something for you?
Turn lights on.
And then he'll look him in one of his many eyes
Mm-hmm.
and say, "You have my promise. I will try with all my ability to turn the lights on." DVR. You're not muted. What's up?
Ask it. Many, and I'll sort of glance down at my fur. Similar to me.
Have you seen any others like us, either this side or the other?
Before they come
Long ago or recent?
they they come to make here. Go turn lights on. We keep you safe. This side. If you turn lights on. And they kind of back. And
Yeah, I'll look to shadows.
Do all of them seem to be backing off, or is it just
Mhm.
all of them? Okay. I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll start heading back to the Tellurian then.
Yeah, I'd shift back over.
And if you need a roll, obviously I'll do that too. But
it's pretty easy to come back. There are enough reflective surfaces here.
and then I will look up at him and say loud enough for the entire pack to hear. Lights attract Hamid.
And then I will get everybody together and relay everything that's happened, but very specifically point out that I think this is possibly the worst place we could have chosen to hide.
Yeah.
The spirits say they make them here.
Like what?
The ones that chased us in here.
This is where they come to fuck?
Yeah.
Make.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Breeding.
I get down
known.
in front of shadows and I'm just like, make. Yes.
No.
Oh, for the love of God, I am
breeding,
not.
Breeding unknown. Make. Fetishes?
Either way, all of this is bad. Yeah.
Gail, don't confuse shadows.
I'm going to look over to Amon again. Becoming difficult. Going to run away again?
That gets a head pat. That's a good question.
We all have a calling. Unfortunately, mine calls me away often. Not going anywhere.
Let's get called away at convenient times.
Time will tell. And I'll go up to Amon, nuzzle him, and then
He'll like sort of not like terribly enthusiastically like everyone else has, but sort of like I'm picking up what you're putting down sort of thing, and give him just like a quick little head scratch. And then I mean he knows that he's not, while he doesn't necessarily feel like he's wrong, he also knows he's not right. So he's kind of taking his licks, because I mean he should have been there for his pack. He can't argue it.
And then once I have acknowledged that I'm not mad, just disappointed,
it's so much worse.
I will then turn and just say to the general group, we're basement.
Good question. Your spirit friends didn't tell you where the basement is?
This is a mall. Malls have directories.
Mom's right. There's got to be a map out there somewhere. I've been here with my son.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have remembered seeing a basement entrance?
Not exactly a basement entrance, but there is a employees only.
Do I know about how far it is from the bookstore?
That you do not know. This mall's been closed for a while.
So I feel like it's important for people to, so in a mall, especially if one is multi-level, what is the lowest level that shops are generally on? Ground floor? Or because I know some places have like an underground sort of layer with shops. Is ground floor as low as it goes for shops?
Ground floor as low as it goes for shops here.
Then
What floor is the bookstore on?
Y'all are on ground floor.
Okay.
Because then we said you said the uke store was like upstairs.
Third floor.
Yeah. Third floor.
Yeah. So I mean, I imagine usually in situations if there's like a natural disaster or something, they generally have signs posted in areas saying like in case of emergency, but it would also probably have that, or we can go back across and try and fight our way there.
It's funny that you mention the dangerous and the comings and goings on the ground floor. You do hear loud noises. There's the creaking of metal. And you hear this kind of boom. And the floor shakes.
I mean, I'm immediately looking to where the sound's coming from.
It's coming from the entrance that you came
So
through.
fuck.
Spirals inside basement.
Yeah, I'm at that point. It's trying to make it for a basement. My best guess at this point is if whatever deal I've made with the spirits, if we can somehow figure that out, maybe we've got to step up.
Is there a possibility that the back room of this bookstore might connect to hallways inside the mall that would then lead to the basement?
Good thought.
I mean, I'm just gonna say if they use it for storage, there's got to be some sort of connecting that they would use for.
And there's got to be something for them to bring stock in.
Yeah, especially during like the public time.
To go to the back, and there would be a back way.
Yeah.
I think that might be our best bet.
Like I mean, Amon will definitely go like looking for it as sort of a trying to show them that he's invested. Like he's not. This isn't the time for him to run. It's nut up or shut up time, and he needs to. Like as far as he's concerned, he's made a deal with a spirit, and that's generally kind of like his bread and butter. So it's his concern now is get the rest of the pack to safety and try and fulfill his end of the arrangement. So yeah, he's going to go immediately for that door and see if he can, like, he'll get to the door and then like for a split second, see if he can hear anything on the other side. So he's not just like walking into a fucking trap if
Perception
possible.
plus alertness.
Wouldn't it just be our pack's luck if this was the hive?
Why you put that out there, Ricky Bobby?
Because there's too many spirits here that aren't corrupted for that to be the case. Unless it's lower down, which is a possibility. But
what is the difficulty?
Difficulty 7.
2 successes.
All right. You don't hear anything in particular.
Okay. I mean, in that case, like if I don't hear anything, I think it's good, and I'll open the door. And like immediately, like as soon as like the door opens, it's kind of like take a quick look around to make sure nothing's right there.
I'm gonna give the guitar a big strum the second he opens the door.
Is there a roll on whether or not I shit myself? Because just the timing, it would fuck with him, I think.
All right. How about this? Roll me a oh wow, rolling for shitting yourself.
Well, I mean, or like,
We're
just
gonna
like calling
go-
out in.
That's covered in the
'Cause
new
he's-
Kickstarter book, right?
I mean, it is about the apocalypse.
mean-
So if you're not shitting yourself at the end, when
What
are
are you
you?
really doing here?
Yeah.
Wits. And you know what? We're gonna go wits plus empathy.
Okay.
Your
Uh,
specialization does not help you here.
Oh, no. I figured it
Difficulty.
wouldn't.
The difficulty is an 8, especially since you think Amon would freak out.
Well, I think because he's sort of like emotionally charged,
Yeah,
with everything
yeah.
that's gone on, and then to sort of
Yeah.
still be in the immediacy of being called out in front of
Let's-
everybody. That cool-headed is not
Yeah.
gonna work.
Let's roll those dice.
Yeah,
I also
especially
have to
in my mind, I've just been sitting there like plucking at one string at a time, just trying to get them all.
And it's that one, like, once they're all kind of like in tune, it's a like right behind him.
and just
Yeah.
a big smile on my face, like I got it finally.
One success.
You flip out. You don't shit
I-
yourself.
Oh
But-
no, he lets out like a scream, and it's immediately like a what the fuck?
I'm sorry. Can I say like that's enough to like maybe trigger Sandy out of her Arano? Because she's gonna be laughing her ass off seeing.
Roll me a
Come on.
willpower check. Difficulty is going to be a 6. Miguel.
Did not want to take the Ragabash spotlight, but I was like, this is too delicious.
Look, Ragabash don't have to be funny. They just have to question shit.
You
Funny can be anyone.
okay? That can kick you out of Hirano. I'll say that. Miguel.
Said,
Yeah, there's laughing. There's what the fuck. Shadows of
Like immediately, all I can imagine is he's standing there in the doorway, like bent over, like taking deep breaths, like his heart is racing, and he's just trying to get back to like an emotional, like calm state, but he's just like embarrassed, like it's just like so many things going on in his head, and being a usually calm person, he is so fucking uncomfortable right now.
My first instinct is to hide the guitar behind my back, just in case. I'm
can
like,
I just go up? Oh, sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna go up to Ahmad and just slap him on the back, and be like, "Thank you. I need that."
And so I'm laughing. He is not.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't say anything or like to her comment, but it's just kind of one of those, like he's still trying to be like that his heart's racing, so he's just trying to take his deep breaths and just
left hand is up in front of me. I'm just like, look, really sorry about that. I was just struggling to get this last chord in, and such a release to just finally,
and like and so like as he's like kind of like tripoding, he like looks over at him, and it's this look of like panic, but it's also like this, if this were a different time. And Gaia willing, shit may need to get settled. But this ain't it.
This is I say this before. Welcome to Werewolf. This is a horror game where we are totally serious all of the time. But the truth is, you
All the
can't
time.
have horror without the hope and the light.
Need something to crush.
And jokes are a defensive mechanism.
And so you make it through the hallway. And
Is
this
there
kind of,
anything to throw in front of that door?
you might see a rock.
I mean, worst case, we're in a bookstore. We could probably like put a book there, like to keep it
Yeah.
from like closing.
Closing? No, I'm trying to block it off.
Well, I'm saying, well, then same thing. It was like you can
Yeah, would
like
there be like
find
metal
ways
shelves?
to like wedge it in, or we could like pull a shelf and then
Yeah. Yeah, very easily you could do this.
Just no sense in making our pursuers have
Yeah.
to have an easy time of it. So
And these tunnels back here, they're sparse. You, to be honest, you're surprised that it could get any quieter than it was before. And yeah, you continue on. And you start heading.
I'm gonna stop every so often to piss on a wall.
Oh, okay. I understand.
You
Assert
get why I'm
dominance.
doing it. No.
Yes.
It's for
I
multiple
get it.
reasons.
I get it.
Yeah.
Fuck up the scent as much as possible. So
Yeah.
Should we? Actually, I think we should all possibly shift down. We want to be as quiet as possible.
Homid environment. Lupus form best.
We should still be careful.
Someone needs to.
Keep thumbs.
Yeah. You're muted.
I hold out the guitar and I'm like, I volunteer because I still have to dedicate this. I don't want to just get rid of it.
I will be like this. And
I'm
the
sure
closest
will.
equivalent to a wolf smiling as you can get.
Yeah.
So just burying
I
your
just
teeth in me?
imagine it's like I was gonna say. I just
No,
imagine
not
its
that,
ears
just
up
more
and
the-
tongue out, just like.
Just for a second.
In the process of all this, I see the group stepping forward a bit more. You keep going. Miguel, you hear a little whisper. There's just this little strange whisper. In case you get hungry, mijo. And you suddenly feel a pouch in your jacket suddenly fill.
Did I hear that at all?
I doubt it.
You did not hear that at all. And there's like this gentle pat before it goes away.
I'm gonna just pull the jacket open. Like I'm gonna put the guitar between my legs, pull the jacket open, and just kind of slowly reach in
Mhm.
and touch it first.
Yeah. And it seems to be a well-wrapped pack.
Pull it out.
It's
Peyote?
That's definitely in case I get hungry, man.
it seems like corn husks all wrapped together and
Then-
bound.
Out loud, I'll say, "A tamal." And I'll open it and see if it is.
It's what you think it is.
Hey, could you check
And-
this for taint? I just look straight at the group.
This
You're
we were
muted.
This time I just whirl and look at him with a very, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I see the thing in your hand.
Did you get a tamale?
I mean, tamale is plural, just so you're aware. This is a tamal.
there's more in your
Other pockets?
yeah.
I don't have sense worm by any means, but can I just smell it? Just like see if I can figure out what all is in this. I won't know like specifics, but general sense and stuff would probably.
Carbs, meat of some kind.
The correct answer is it smells delicious.
Correct.
Does it
Did
smell?
you bring enough to share with the group?
I mean, I think so, and I put this one down on the floor in front of Shadows.
Does it happen to smell like pig?
I think they're usually like chicken and
Pork. Yeah.
pork. Yeah.
I was just checking. Is
Or I
there
was gonna say like
percentage of
chicken
pork?
or
It
yeah.
smells like pig.
I'm gonna nudge it with my nose and not eat it just yet.
And
Yeah, I'll reach into the other pockets and see how many I have.
you have a dozen tamales jammed in places.
And I just look at him,
Jesus.
like as soon as he's just like pulling them out, like just kind of like giving him a smirk and looking at him. It was just like, I think we found out who's bait.
No. Well, crees que no? That's not how it is. That's not how it's gonna
And
go.
unfortunately, with random tamales being spoiled out, that is where we're going to end our session tonight.
Random tamales. Best
And-
ending spot.
You know what? As terrible as I thought this might go for us, ending on tamales, not a bad idea.
Not bad. Not
Pretty
bad.
awesome if we ended with that.
And as always, I would like to thank my players. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to thank the Onyx Path. Please go and back the Kickstarter. There is
Do
so
it.
much good shit in that book. Oh my God. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a random abuela shoving Mexican tamales into your pockets.
We don't
if
know
you
what
get
totem
it.
spirits they might
We
have
don't
in that book.
know. We don't know what totem spirits. There might be abuela with her changla of justice.
But I believe it.
That's more awesome and terrifying than I initially thought.
Yeah.
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 Nah, seriously though, folks, back it
Yeah.
hard.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
my fetish is called Huitzilopochtli's burden, so I went full hardcore for this. character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am
But
half
yes.
Mexican, so I'm not culturally appropriating for the Octana.
But and also donate to the Badhana group. Please. It's all for good. And with my players, I'm going to give you all 5 experience.
Oh, we
Ooh.
are so dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, find
storyteller's
that
being
one
generous.
thing, and give yourself one last good moment with your character before I destroy you next time.
And we will be back here next week on the 15th. Same bat time, same bat channel. I would like to go over the McStabber Studios stream schedule. I believe we have Paranoia tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we have Paranoia tomorrow. Which friend computer is love, friend computer is life.
The computer is never wrong.
Yes. And then on Sunday, we have Windy City After Dark. On Tuesday, our lovely Tech Weenies storytelling ability will be on full display as it is Haunted Chronicles, The Black Death, which I play a Frankenstein monster in that. So it's going to be fun. And I believe on Tuesday, we have Mage set in the 80s.
Ah, damn.
And darn it, I don't remember if there's anything on Wednesday. I'm thinking I'm forgetting.
I'm more just laughing that we have 3 out of the main 5 World of Darkness products in that same studio.
There might be a one shot on Wednesday,
That's what I was thinking. Is there a one shot on
or
Wednesday?
that might have been left on call in case Moira went over.
That's what it is. And obviously on the McStabber Studios, we're doing the game Pink for breast cancer awareness. I would also like to point out, get your damn shots.
And Shanky said no on Wednesday.
Okay, no on Wednesday.
But yes, please go get your shots. Please, please,
Yeah.
please, please, please.
That's a
Please get your
yes.
shots.
And this is co-opted from McStabber Studios, but please, 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 everyone watching, mental health is something to be taken seriously. It is something that can eat you alive from the inside out. I know from personal experience, as I'm sure many, many of us do. Talk to someone, your therapist, your friend, your just random person who seems to be trustworthy. Someone, please. It will only help you. The world is a much more interesting and fascinating place when you are still in it. Please.
Yes, absolutely. Just to piggyback off that, it's just remember, it's it is okay to not be okay. It's okay. You're not a burden. Reach out to people, like Maddox said. It's people want you around, and they want you in their lives. Just, it's if you're having issues, reach out. There's always somebody, there are resources for you.
Hirano is a bitch, and we all need
Facts.
to hold each other up.
Yep. And as always, take care of yourselves, and good night.
Good night.